Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. If you're into nitro engines, nitro vehicles, anything at all to do with the nitro side of the RC hobby, I really appreciate your help. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff really helps me. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. All right, I've mentioned plenty of times before that I wash and re-oil my air filters. I figured I might as well go ahead and do a video. So this is pretty much basically this right here is pretty much all I wash. I love these Traxxas air filters. I've been running these for years. I run these on all my buggies except for the Kyosho, which has its own setup there. So basically I run like 7 or 8 of these and one of those. But they all need their maintenance, so we are going to wash and re-oil these filters today. All right. I always like to inspect these Traxxas air filters. When the element inside gets old, it will shrink, and at some point eventually the dirt will be able to get past it. So I always like to take a look inside my coupler, my elbow here, and make sure that there's no dirt inside that has gotten past the filter. So that all looks nice and oily in there, which is good, exactly what we want. So then I'm going to go ahead and pull my filter out of the housing. Now this one isn't too bad. I've ran these to a lot worse than this, but that's what I'm working with there. And again, I'm going to take a look at this, and this is exactly what I want to see. All the dirt is right on the top of it. There's none on the side, none on the bottom. That's exactly what I want to see. That tells me that this filter is operating properly. All right, so the first step. Oops, I forgot. I gotta go in my cabinet to get my stuff. Give me one sec here. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. All right. So I use, you want to use a degreaser for this. And what I use is this LA's Totally Awesome cleaner and degreaser. I use this in my ultrasonic bath. I've been using this stuff for at least 10 years. And I've found that for the price, number one, I buy it at Dollar Tree. It's $1.25. And it works great. I have been, like I said, been using this stuff for a long time, and I really like it. So what I'm going to do now, how I do these, I want the dirt to go out of the filter. I don't want this dirt to go into the filter. So how I start is I'll turn this over. I'll squirt some degreaser into it, and I'll kind of get it into there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up that dirt, right? And then again, remember, this is the bottom. I'm going to turn my water on, and you want some hot water for this. So I'm going to let it get hot. And what I'm going to do is, remember, I'm holding this with, it's upside down. This is the bottom, that's the top where all the dirt was. I'm going to rinse it this way. The water coming in the bottom and out the top. That way the dirt doesn't have to pass through it to get out. It just goes right off, not into the sponge. You get what I'm saying? All right, so I got my hot water. I'm going to, again, I'm on the bottom. the top, it's upside down, bottom up, top down. I filled it with degreaser. Now I'm rinsing it, okay? So that was my first initial wash, we'll call it. I'm still holding it upside down, and I'm going to do one more time. Fill me up with some degreaser. Work it around there really good. Get it nice and sudsy. See that? I want suds. That's what tells me that it's working. You know what I mean? I don't like cleaning supplies that don't make some sud. I want some sud. All right, so that's another good clean. I'm going to turn my hot water back on. Again, bottom up, and I'm going to let that run right through and out the bottom, so that dirt goes away from the filter, not into the filter. So after 2 of those, right, now I'm not going to be worried about orientation so much. I've got all the big bits and chunks of dirt off of it, right, and so they didn't go into the filter. So now I don't have to worry so much about orientation. To me, this is like, 90% clean. I'm just going to give it one more. And this time, I'm just going to give it a good scrubbing all over. Squeezing. Sudsing. Get it really worked. Turn my hot water back on. And I like to do at least 4, right? So my first 2, I'm going to go in the bottom, out the top to move the dirt away. I'm going to do 2 like that. And then I'm going to do 2 more. That's pretty much clean right there. But I like to play it safe. Let me go ahead and get one more. Degreaser. Scrub. Scrubby dub. Right? Get that good suds action on there. I like it. You want to work it, massage it, and then rinse. And this final rinse, my last rinse, I'm going to rinse it really, really good. Make sure all that soap is out. Squeeze it. Let it fill up with water, squeeze it out. Fill with water, squeeze it out. Fill with water, squeeze it out. All right, so that filter is ready to go. So that's what I call a perfectly clean air filter. So I'll grab me a paper towel just to set it on for the moment, and I'll show you that's cleaning. Okay. Now we got this Kyosho filter. First thing I do with this is separate the 2 parts. Okay, you got your inner and your outer. If there's no dirt on the inner, I don't want to get it on the inner, so I take that apart and I do these separately. Now with this one, again, remember with the little filter, I wanted to go through the filter from the clean side to the dirty side, right? So that the dirt goes away from the filter, not into the filter. How I do that with this one, give it a spray down really good with my degreaser. All right. And then I'll kind of kind of spin and work it a little bit like that, and then I'll take my water. Actually, did I spin this around? Let my water, you see that? So my water is hitting the inside and coming through the outside. You know, best I can. Of course, you know, I'm not going to get every little piece is going to go the way I want it, but I'm making an effort to try to keep that dirt out of the filter, right? Not work it into it. All right, that's my first. Let me go ahead and spray her down. Again, I'm just going to kind of spin it and squeeze it at the same time, right? I'm spinning it around and I'm squeezing it as it goes. All right, and then, sorry, try to get you in view from the inside to the outside, best I can. All right, now that I've got two of those out of the way, and I've got the big dirt off of it, right? We're at that approximately 90% clean stage now. Then I'm going to grab my inner filter, which still has oil in it, but no dirt, right? The dirt is what we're worried about. The oil, I could care less. So now that the dirt is off, I can wash these together. I'm not worried about dirt from the big one getting into the little one. So now basically it's just an oil clearing operation. I got the dirt off. Now we're going to get all the oil out of these. All right. Give these a rinse. And then one more and we're good to go. And like I said, so right now, I'd say these are pretty clean. But I always like to give them one extra go over. Good and sudsy. All right. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Working through that foam very well. That one, all the way around. All right. These are clean. Hot water. And I'll give them a really, now this is my final rinse, so I'm going to give them a really good rinse. All right. So now that these are rinsed really well, really clean, really rinsed, my hands are clean. All right, now give them a really good wring out. And there is my clean Kyosho filter. All right. These parts, pretty self-explanatory. You know how to clean plastic parts. I mean, I'm sure you know how to clean air filters too, but we're hanging, we're talking, we're doing some Nitro maintenance today. Now, another thing about those elbows there, I'll discuss that in a second as well. So I'm going to spray those really good with my degreaser, all right? And then I keep a toothbrush here for scrubbing. Go ahead and give that a spritz, why not? And these rest of these parts will get a good cleaning. All the way, inside, outside, all around. Now these elbows are rubber. And rubber will, with age, it will dry, it'll crack. So what I do is moly coat them, the entire elbow. I've done every single one of my Traxxas elbows that go with those Traxxas air filters has been massaged with moly coat. So I'll take this elbow here, right? I'll clean it really good, like I'm doing right now, right? Give it a real good clean job. Make sure to get in this crack right here. That's where your air filter sits. I'll give them a really good cleaning. I'll dry them off really good, right? So I got a fully clean and dry rubber elbow here. And then I'll get me a big old gob of moly coat on my fingers, and I will work that moly coat into this elbow, making sure I'll peel that edge back, and I'll get up in that groove really, really good with the moly coat. That's where you want it to be soft, is in there, because that's where it makes its seal with the top piece. All right. Last piece is the housing on the Traxxas air filter here. Give it a real good cleaning all around, inside, outside. All right, now again, hot water. Oops, sorry. Hot water. Now, so right now I've got a paper towel with my air filter elements, and here in a moment I'll have my air filter parts on it as well. Dry rinse these off really, really good. Did I get that one? I don't think I got that one. I didn't scrub this one. Scrub, make it nice and clean. All right. Hot water, degreaser, that's how we clean these air filter parts. All right, so every piece is washed, every piece is rinsed, and now my next step, let me grab me another paper towel. I use a lot of paper towels. All right, my next step is to give them all a dry with compressed air. So that's all my parts. I'm also going to do my filters with compressed air. All right, give them a little bit of that. Help them dry a bit because I do want these dry. Alright, so now all of my parts are cleaned and dried, and I will see y'all back over at the workbench for the oiling part. See you in a second. Alright, I'm doing some work on the Kyosho buggy here. I am swapping an engine. So I needed to clean the air filter, so that's why I figured, I'll go ahead and make the video while I'm doing it. Alright, so we cleaned everything, we rinsed and we dried with compressed air, but these are not dry. These still have some water in them, so now I'm going to take this paper towel, wrap it around, and I'm going to squeeze really, really tight. And you see how we got moisture out of that. I'm going to come over to this dry part of the paper towel. This is usually how I do this. And one more really good squeeze. And you can see that we're pretty dry now, right? Not much liquid on that side, so that filter's dry. And then I'm going to do the same. How I do these ones, this style, is I'll put my paper towel through it to get the inside, right? And then I'll wrap it around the outside. And again, really good squeeze. I want all of that water out of there. Alright, that is one. I'm one paper towel short. And I will, those just, I want to make a, those aren't going in the trash right there. Those just had water on them. Those will be reused. I'm not a tree hugger, but I hate wasting. I don't like to waste. So, yeah, those right there, those will sit and dry, and then I'll use those for something else. All right. Last piece, the larger outer Kyosho. Paper towel inside, paper towel all around the outside, and squeeze. Now, a lot of times, it'll be a do as I say, not as I do situation, right? And we're about to have one of those right now. I want you to, I'm going to show you how I do it, but I don't want you to do it the same way. You should not, really none of this stuff, nitro, fuel, air filter, oil, you shouldn't really be touching any of this stuff with your hands, right? These are chemicals, and you really don't want to do that. But having said that, I do touch air filter oil with my hands. Now, what you're supposed to do, put your filter in a plastic bag, pour the oil into the bag, and work the filter inside the bag from outside of the bag, right? So that you don't get it on your hands. I got some air filter oil right here, and I'll kind of do this like this. So I got my Traxxas one here, kind of give me some there, give me some there, and a little bit around the edge. And I'll just work that through. You want no, you don't want to see. So I'm putting red filter oil on here. There's also blue filter oil. You don't want to see patches of color. You want the filter, when you're done, to be completely uniform, right? That you know then that the oil is distributed evenly all throughout the filter. All right, so that right there is a oiled filter. Since my hands already got oil on them, I'm gonna go ahead and do this next one. Again, just a fair amount all around it, kind of like such there. And then I'm gonna work it in, squeezing that filter really good, and working it around, all around. And then we should have something like that. Last piece, my large outer, oil all around it. All right, start off looking like that, and we're gonna work it. And we want just a pinkish hue, kind of like how Costanza likes his cheeks on a girl, with a pinkish hue. All right, there we go. So that is our completed Kyosho filter, cleaned and oiled and ready for reinstallation. There's our Traxxas. Now let me give my hands a little wipe off here. And so the last part, like I was saying, these have already been done. I did this Kyosho too, because this was getting kind of old. I take these rubber parts and I will massage moly coat into them really good, pressing inside, outside, rubbing it in there really good to the rubber. And that keeps these nice and soft and pliable, which they are. These feel great. They were moly coated some time ago. All right. Last part, putting this back together. So you can always tell on these Traxxas air filters, the bottom will have that ring there. You see that? See that ring where there's none on the top? That's your top. That's your bottom with that ring on it. And how I like to do this is I'll compact this thing down, and I'll get it started evenly, right? See how it's, I don't want it to go in cockeyed. So I start it evenly, and then I'll come right to the center and push it on down, right? And then the final step, just kind of take and pick it out of the corner to where it's nice and even. You want that thing to fill up this entire little, this entire element, no, not the element, housing. You want that filter element to fill the entire housing, and then you just put your elbow on. I like to give it a few spins, make sure the elbow is seated properly. And that feels good. That feels really good. That is cleaned, oiled. And then this Kyosho one, I'm gonna slide this onto here, and you want to make sure that you're seated nice and flat against the bottom, all these teeth are on the outside. Right, so that looks good on that side. Then I'll take my other piece here. Again, make sure. There we go. There we go. So now those two halves are together. I'm going to go around, make sure the filter is all the way up against the edge of the housing, right? Make sure it's completely in there, no cracks that are going to let dirt through, right? We're buttered up really nicely. That looks good all the way around. And then the last step is just to reinstall the screws. There's two 2mm screws here that put these two screws in, and then I'll zip tie the elbow. So I'll put these in here, quick as I can. That way, once the screws are in and it's together, then it's sealed up really well. Not going to come apart. All right. Long screws. All right. Screws are in. There's our Kyosho air filter element, washed, cleaned. I know that this piece that the body clip goes through, the elbow is going to be pointing down towards that side. I know it's going to go just like that. The hole here, that on the bottom. So I can put that on there, and then final step, come around with my zip tie. And of course, when I install it onto the engine, I will be zip tying the other part as well. But for now, this is just the elbow onto the housing. And is that not long enough? No, it's not. The shorty zip tie is not long enough. You know what? Since we got to use a long one, we'll use an orange to go with my always. There's a tip for you. Always color coordinate. You want your speed and your driving to improve. Color coordination will do it for you. It has been tested and proven that vehicles with color coordinated accessories run 8% faster than vehicles without color coordinated accessories. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Take that to the bank. All right. Where the heck's my snippers? I don't know where my snips are, so. All right, there we go. Air filter, Traxxas, Kyosho, ready to install. Thank you very much for watching. See y'all later. Have a great day.